Welcome into another episode of Chasing 48, a Ghost Runner Media production. I'm Zach Harley, and I appreciate you joining into episode number 2. Last week was obviously episode number 1, because that's how math works. And if you did listen to the first podcast, I really appreciate it. I appreciated all the comments and feedback I received on all the different platforms, and even some people texted me, so I appreciate you tuning into that one. And if you appreciated it, then I would appreciate a lot of appreciation going on, which, by the way, if you appreciated it, yeah, like you tuned in and you're like, oh my God, I've been waiting so long for Zach Harley to put out a podcast about the Indians, a low budget one at that, that's filmed in his basement. I appreciate it. No, but if you liked it, if you liked what you heard, then I would appreciate some good words back to me via wherever you listen to it, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you did. I would appreciate a subscription, some feedback on that, because it really does go a long way on these things. So once again, I'm Zach Harley. This is Chasing 48 on Ghost Runner Media, and I got a lot to get into. I got 2 whole papers, not just information, but topics here that I've drummed up over the last 5 days since opening day came on Thursday the 1st. And no, I'm not going to be Mr. Overreaction 4 games into a 162-game season. I'm not trying to overreact to anything. I think that stuff's played out. I think it's kind of lazy, to be honest with you, where you just freak out and you drum up one conclusion on a guy, and that's it. That's it. 4 games in, you're done with this. I don't want to see that. So-and-so should be fired. And you know you've heard that from some places. So I'm not going to be overreaction guy. I'm not going to be freak out over a guy not getting a hit, which there are a couple guys that don't have hits, and I do have a problem with that. But it's not just because of the past 4 days. It's because of the past 3 years. So I'm not going to be overreaction guy. But opening day was here. And before I get there, something I thought of when I was, trying to drum up ideas for the show today, and actually a couple of my friends have run into this problem, and I'm sure they're not the only ones. I'm sure multiple people have problems with this, and that's just trying to watch the freaking game on TV, right? Is that a problem for you? It's not a problem for me because, pull the curtains out. I live out of state, so I have the MLB extra innings, and since I'm not in the Cleveland area, I'm not blacked out. But if you are in the Cleveland area, which I assume 99.9% of the people listening to this are, you're probably having a hard time finding the game on TV. Aren't you? I just looked it up, and it's ridiculous because, streaming services have taken everything, and there's YouTube TV and Hulu TV and a whole bunch of other ones. The Indians, which moved to Bally Sports Great Lakes, is that what it's called? Bally Sports Great Lakes. First of all, I hate the name. I hate the logo. The logo, which is already, it's a gym, right? Bally is a gym. So it just looks like their logo on the bottom where the score is with who's on first, second, third, how many outs, the count, all that stuff, who's at bat. It just looks like it's just that red B right in the middle of the score bug on the bottom. It just looks like it just looks like an advertisement. It doesn't look like a TV station, so that annoys me. But what really, really annoys me is that half the people I'm talking to didn't even have access to see the little stupid red B at the bottom. They didn't have access to watch the game. They didn't have access to watch the Cleveland Indians, and they live in Cleveland. And it's not like they just don't have a TV in their house. I bet you everybody has multiple TVs in their house at this point. And none of them can get the Indians on their TV if they don't have Spectrum, which I'm sorry, Spectrum. I'm not expecting a spot purchase from you anytime soon. No one has Spectrum, or nobody wants Spectrum. You're kind of forced to have Spectrum in some places. WOW Network, which used to be Time Warner Cable, and Time Warner Cable closed because nobody liked Time Warner. DirecTV has it. AT&T now has it. Cool. If you have YouTube TV, you don't have it. If you have Hulu TV, you don't have it. If you have Sling, you don't have it. If you have any of the streaming services, You don't have the game, and that is just ridiculous, and in my opinion, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You want to make this game? You want to promote this game and spread this game to the youth of America and keep it going? Because all of our grandfathers loved baseball, right? All of our fathers probably loved baseball. A lot of our friends, and I'm just saying us as in a range group here, the millennials and those people, the millennials. They may like baseball. They may have played it when they were a kid, but they don't love it as much because there's a bunch of things, and I could go into it, and I could spend 3 hours on what MLB does wrong promoting their players. And I want to say this real quick, just there's a difference between MLB and baseball. There is Major League Baseball and then the sport of baseball. Okay, so while I have a billion gripes with Major League Baseball, the sport of baseball is beautiful, and I love it. I love it. I told my dad a couple months ago, I said I would rather watch a JV high school baseball game than go to a random concert of a big band. And that's true, because I love the sport of baseball, but Major League Baseball really screws up more times than they don't, which is a problem for a multi-billion-dollar industry. But the league or even the individual teams, because Cleveland's not the only one getting screwed out of watching their home team, right? Anybody that had fork spot. See, I've talked all morning, and now I got to come here and talk, and it's a mess. Anyone who ever had Fox Sports Network, that is now Bally Sports Network, and if you didn't get Fox Sports, well, now you don't have Bally. And half the teams in the league, I'd say, used Fox Sports, which now they use Bally, and that means no one with any streaming service can watch the game. So I think if the league doesn't want to step in, which they never like to step into anything except suspending Nick Castellanos for yelling of the Reds. If you didn't see that, it's the stupidest thing they've done in the last day. They're not going to step in. So I think the teams need to step in here, and they need to get something done to get their product viewable to the public that wants to watch the games. Look, I know not everybody's going to watch the games. I get that. There's 162 of them. If you missed last night, you can watch tomorrow. But right now, if you missed last night, that's not even your fault. That's not because you were out back grilling. That's not out because you were out with your friends. It's because the games aren't on your TV. Because you don't pay DirecTV $170 a month to watch the Indians. You got to step in. If I own YouTube TV, if I own Hulu TV, if I own Sling TV, I pay for that. I should be able to watch the games. And if you're not going to put it on those, then you need to find a way, at least every 3 days. So in Cleveland, the affiliate, when I was younger, that every Sunday it was on Channel 3. So even if you didn't have cable, you can still watch the games. Something like that needs to happen, because you can't have half of the nation blacked out of these games. How can you do that? How can you promote your game when half the people can't even watch it? If I'm an Indians fan and the Angels are in town, I want to watch Mike Trout. I want to watch Shohei Ohtani. I want to watch Anthony Rendon. But they're not on my TV. So how am I going to be introduced to the best players in the league if I can't even watch my own damn team? So it's stupid, and something needs fixed. And I don't have the power or the brains to do it. Mostly the power, some of the brains. But somebody's got to do something, because the blackout rule sucks. I'm in Pennsylvania. I can't watch Pirates games on the game thing because, again, I have YouTube TV. I don't get the Pirates games on my normal guide, and I'm blacked out on MLB Extra Innings. I'm blacked out. You pay so much money a month, and you can't even watch all the games. That's the point. That's the point. NFL got rid of the blackout rules. NBA's still working on it. MLB's got to get rid of it. MLB's got to be the next one to get rid of the blackout rule, and they got to figure out a way to get this Bally Sports Network on more television screens, or else your product's going to suffer. If you put on a game but no one can watch, did it really happen? That's the question we all got to answer here, okay? So I think it's BS. It sucks that half the fans aren't able to watch because of these TV rights deals. It sucks. And if you're one of those people that can't watch the games because of the TV rights and all that, I'm sorry. You deserve better. Fans deserve better. For people that want to watch the Indians, they should be able to watch the Indians. Okay. Oh, one more thing. The score bug is ugly. I don't know where the outs are on the new Bally Sports thing. It drives me nuts. All right. Moving on here. So opening day, and I'm not going to get on this for too long because I do have a lot of stuff to go, and I just spent 10 minutes bitching and moaning about the blackout rules. So opening day. Here's a little gripe I have. I'm going to spend a minute on it and then move on. Opening day is great. I think it should be a federal holiday. I think everybody should have off. But what I also think is Cleveland should never be able to watch their team in person on MLB's opening day. I think the Indians need to open in like Texas, and same with Detroit, and same with Minnesota and Chicago. Kansas City can kind of get away with it because Missouri's further down south. But for any of these East teams, like Boston got rained out, the Tigers and Indians were playing in a snowstorm. Miggy Cabrera hit a home run to right. Nobody knew if it went out because we couldn't see the ball because the snowflakes were so big. So, I mean, it's not a big gripe. I like that baseball's still being played. But if Cleveland could open up down in Texas or Toronto where there's a dome, I would prefer that way better than forcing these divisional games to open the season when I don't care about divisional games on April 1st. I'm just happy that games are being played, period. Maybe later in the year I'll care about the divisional races, but right now we're in game 1 of 162. I just want to see my team play. I don't care if we play the Tigers or we play the Diamondbacks. I just want to see the Indians play baseball. So why not open up with the Indians and the White Sox and the Tigers and the Twins all the way from home, either down south or in a stadium with a dome, so we don't have to watch Major League Baseball players hurling 98-mile-an-hour rocks in the freezing cold. It was 30 degrees at game time on Thursday. We don't need it. Open up down in Texas. Open up down in Houston and in Florida, out in California. I don't care. I do not care. Toronto has a dome. There's other domes around. I think Seattle might still have a dome. They might not. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. If you can open down in the south, do it. And I understand, yeah, there might be one or two up north, and you cross your fingers and hope they play, but nobody should, A, have to go to a game in the snow, and B, nobody should have to play a game in the snow. It's the game of summer. Nobody needs to play in the snow. All right, on to actual field now. I know I just wasted 12 minutes, but those are my gripes, and now here's more, but they're about the roster. I'll get to things I like. I will. I always do. I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but Cesar Hernandez, that is my first real point today about this team. As I take a drink out of my water bottle. He's my first real gripe because, and it's not all on him. It's not all on him. Players are allowed to go to the manager and voice their preferences, their frustrations, whatever it may be. And Matt Underwood on the TV broadcast and Tom Hamilton on the radio broadcast both brought this up on why Cesar Hernandez was not batting leadoff. Why Jordan Luplow is your leadoff hitter, or the other way around against a different-handed pitcher, then Ben Gamble is all of a sudden in the lineup, batting first, and that's a problem. Cesar Hernandez, I think he's the prototypical leadoff guy. He bats for average. There's not a lot of power there. He can move on the bases a little bit. I think he's a good guy to start the inning, start the game. He can get on and then maybe make things happen on the base paths. But Cesar doesn't think that. Cesar Hernandez went to Tito, apparently, Terry Francona, and said, I don't want to bat first. I feel comfortable in the second spot. First of all, you're on a one-year deal after being on a one-year deal. That means the team saw you for 1 year, and then they didn't see enough to be like, we're going to give you multiple years. We're just going to give you one more year until probably Nolan Jones is ready to come up and play Major League Baseball. So first off, you're on a one-year deal. Second off, that's great that you voice your preference, voice your opinion on where you should bat in the lineup, but it ultimately comes down to Terry Francona, and you have to say no. You have to walk up to Cesar Hernandez and say, no, thank you. You're going to be our leadoff hitter because you're the only one we got. Terry Francona has ultimate say over this lineup. He has ultimate say over where and when guys play. Cesar Hernandez, you can go up to Terry Francona and tell him whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. But Terry Francona needs to step in and go man-to-man and say, no, Cesar, you're going to have to suck it up. I don't really understand how you feel more comfortable in the second spot than the first spot. You're still batting in the first inning of the game, so what the hell does it matter? And you're going to bat him second. No, you bat him first. Cesar Hernandez needs to be the leadoff hitter every game from here on out. And if you don't agree with that, if Cesar Hernandez says he's going to walk off the field if you bat him leadoff, which would never happen, and normally if you have a good leadoff hitter, fans love leadoff hitters, so that's another incentive to lead off. But if not, I cannot see Ben Gamel leading off the damn game. Jordan Luplow even rubs me the wrong way, and he's a good hitter. I like Jordan Luplow. I'm glad he's on this team, but man, I can't have a leadoff guy that's in danger of being pinch hit for halfway through the game when they go to another handed reliever. If you got a lefty on the mound and then you got a pinch hit because a righty comes in the game, no, I need my leadoff hitter to be able to hit against lefty or righty. You're the leadoff hitter. I need a 300 average out of you and for you to get on base. That's why Carlos Santana was good in the leadoff spot for a couple years. No, he didn't make things happen on the bases, and no, his average wasn't particularly great, but his on-base percentage was great, and that's what you need. You just need the first guy to go on. Do I have faith in Jordan Luplow to get on every time? No. Do I have faith in Ben Gamel to get on every time? I don't have faith in Ben Gamel to get on ever. He looks terrible at the plate. He looks lost. His swings are horrendous, and I can't have that guy leading off because then you see Ben Gamel if you're a pitcher, and you're like, ho, I'm in for a day if that's the best you got to offer. The first batter of the game, you're throwing up Ben Gamel. We're in for a treat here. Pitcher's already got a no-no in his head, and he's definitely on his way after the first batter because we know Ben Gamel ain't hitting the ball. So Tito Francona has got to whatever up, onion up, and put Cesar Hernandez in the leadoff spot. I can't have it. And if he doesn't, then fine. Jose Ramirez should lead off. But I can't have Ben Gamel, and I can't have Jordan Luplow. I can't do it. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and it doesn't help anybody. So that's my gripe with Tito Francona right now. And I've had very little over his tenure of the Cleveland Indians. I've had very little to be and moan about. But this is one of them. Backing down to Cesar Hernandez. Who the hell are you? I'm batting you first. You're going to get over it. You're going to go up there, and you're going to hit 300 like you do every year. That's what you're going to do. It's what I got on Cesar Hernandez. It's Tito's fault. Now, another guy I like in the lineup, I was going to hit on Yu Chang playing first base. He's fine for now. I think he needs to learn the position a little bit because you got Plesac and you got Logan Allen. And they have two pretty good pickoff moves. So he's got to learn how to pick him over there at first base. Logan Allen probably had a guy picked off against the Royals yesterday on Monday. If you have a normal first baseman over there, he probably picks the guy off. But Yu Chang was just so worried about picking the ball cleanly out of the dirt that he didn't have time to actually apply the tag. So if you have an actual first baseman over there, which again, I'm not yelling at Yu Chang, it's not his fault. The Indians decided not to go with one this year. But if you are going to play him at first, he's got to get better at that position because Plesac, that pickoff move comes in handy a lot, and Logan Allen's looks really nice too as a lefty. So I would like for them to be able to utilize that this year. Now, a guy that I do like that has been in the lineup, and he didn't start, right? It was Andres Jimenez. He was the starting shortstop, and he might again tomorrow against the Royals in Game 2. But right now, they're split. Ahmad Rosario has started just as many games as Andres Jimenez, but the difference, Andres Jimenez has 1 hit in 8 at-bats. Ahmad Rosario has 8 at-bats, 9 plate appearances, and 3 hits. He's batting .375, and he scored twice, too. He even walked once. To me, Ahmad Rosario looks offended. He looks pissed off when he goes to the plate. Because he's saying, I should have been opening day shortstop from day one. This Ahmad, or not this Ahmad, he's going to talk about himself third person. In this Andres Jimenez kid, I know I came over with him. I know him. I know that guy. I'm better than that guy. And you're still going to start him over me? I'm pissed off. That's what I hope Ahmad Rosario thinks every time he goes to the plate. I love it. He looks pissed off. He looks on a mission. Even in his at-bats where he gets out, he still hits the ball with good contact. He barrels it up. I like it. So, if he just keeps hitting when he gets called upon, I know it's only 2 games, and he has nine plate appearances, 8 at-bats. If he can keep this 300, 280 average up, that's how you're going to win this shortstop job in 2021. Yes, Jimenez is the long-term option, no question, unless Rosario just forces the issue, just hits his way to a starting job in 2022. Jimenez is the long-term shortstop, but if you want to win the starting shortstop job this year, Jimenez has opened the door for you a little bit. He started 1 for 8. You start 3 for 8. That goes a long way, especially because Ahmad Rosario, his hits just haven't come at random, inopportune times. They've come at good spots where he's either starting something or he's keeping it going and he gets on base. His 3 hits have been big so far. So I liked what I've seen out of him, and I liked what I've seen out of the other Rosario, Eddie Rosario. Now, he's going to drive you nuts. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You're going to watch Indians games, and he's going to drive you nuts. He's going to swing at balls that have no business being swung at. His swing is long. He steps out. He's trying to pull the hell out of the ball. He's not fooling you there. He's telling you with his stance, I'm going to try to pull this ball to right, and we're going to see how far it goes. But he connects, man. He connects. Yes, he's going to swing at some balls that are out of the zone, and that swing is going to get long. I mean long. Like if you're on the video watching me on YouTube, I can't do lefty, but righty. He's swinging like that, just praying that he can meet the ball on the other edge of the plate. But man, when he connects, he's been connecting. He has been connecting. He's already gone yard. He's got 4 RBI. Yes, he's batting .250, but that's what you're going to expect. That's what you're going to expect. His OPS 875. So when he hits it, the ball goes far. And he went yard, and he had one yesterday against the Royals to where if it was warmer, that ball probably would have gone out of the park. There was a couple of those yesterday in that game. Yeah, there was a couple of those. Rosario had one. I think Cesar Hernandez had one. And I think Franmil had one too, where it just died in the outfield. And if it's a warm summer day in June or July, that ball's probably another 30 feet, which is over the fence. So I liked Eddie Rosario. He's going to drive you nuts, okay? I'm just letting you know that right now. He's going to drive you nuts. You're going to curse his name, and then you're going to curse his name again, but it's going to be positive, and it's going to be, hell yeah, Eddie, you put us up on top with that, because he's going to hit 35 dingers this year. I'm calling that. So the Indians could have 2 35-homer hitters here with Franmil and Eddie. And I know Franmil's not getting off to the best start. He has 3 hits and 15 at-bats. He's gone yard. Again, I just said he probably would have had another one yesterday if it was a little warmer there. So that's my offense. That's my offense thing. And, well, I guess this ties into the pitching. Most teams right now, so the Indians are 1-3. I haven't addressed that. They're 1-3. They lost to Detroit on opening day by a score of 3-2, and then they lost 5-2, and then the bats explode 9-3. They beat Detroit in the series ender, and then yesterday on Monday, April 5th, Kansas City shuts them out 3-0. And can I just say in that game, I was going to save the Kansas City game till the end, but I guess I'll just hit it now. Carlos Santana made the play of the day, as far as I'm concerned. In the ninth, the Indians had guys on first and second, no outs. Ball gets ripped to the right side, and he picks it, and he turns 2, and the game was basically over after that. It made me sad, but then I'm like, damn it, Carlos, I love you too much. So, yeah, I thought that was the biggest play of the game in the Kansas City game on Monday yesterday. But most teams, I think, with a decent lineup, would be 4-0, maybe 3-1, with the pitching that the Cleveland Indians displayed in the first week of the Major League season. They give up 3 runs on Thursday, and then on Saturday, they gave up 5, and 2 were off Plesac in the first, and then Whitgren gave up 3, in the 6th, I think. Sunday, they give up 3 runs. Monday, yesterday, they give up 3 runs again. If you give up 3 runs a game, you're going to be in prime position to win a lot of baseball games. The problem is, I don't know if this Indians lineup can give you 3 runs a game consistently, the way it's constructed. I think they can get there. I've liked what I've seen out of Josh Naylor. He's hit the ball pretty well. He's squared up a lot of pitches. I know they haven't landed in the grass. They've landed in more gloves, but he's squaring it up, and I like that. I like Fran Mill. I think he's going to come along. Jordan Luplow is what he is. Jose Ramirez is a GOAT. He's starting off with a hot 313 average and a 725 OPS. Roberto Perez has had a decent start. He had a couple hits on opening day. The rest of it, who knows? And I'm not going to go any longer on the offense, but the pitching has been so good. They should be 4-0 because of it. Bieber looks phenomenal. After that first inning, he shook off the rust. It was a little cold on opening day. It was 30 degrees after that. Nothing. He didn't allow anything. Plesac, same thing. Once he settled in after that first, they were getting nothing. Savali was beautiful on Sunday. They each made one mistake in that game, and then they were almost flawless otherwise. So those 3, if they keep on doing what they're doing, oh my goodness. And then you get to the bullpen. Class A isn't fair. Karinchak isn't fair. Now, I'd be scared to get in the batter's box going against James Karinchak. And that's not just because he throws 101. Well, a little bit. It's kind of because he throws 101, but it's more because I don't think he fully knows where that ball's going to go when it leaves its hand. I think in his head he goes, well, if it goes in the glove, great. If not, I just hope I don't knock the guy's head off. I think that's where his head is when he throws the ball, because he throws it 101, and sometimes it looks like it's going to hit the backstop, and sometimes it's right down the middle for a strike, and you never seen anything more beautiful. So I love Karinchak. I love Class A. Shaw has looked good in his limited work here. Quantrell looked okay. Tristan McKenzie, my boy, he looked good. He came out of the pen for Logan Allen yesterday. They got him that work because you're only playing 4 games in 6 days, so you want to get that guy work to kind of get him on a schedule here, because I assume Bieber's going to pitch tomorrow, and then off we go. So you got one against Kansas City, and then Thursday's off, another off day, and then you're playing a bunch in a row, starting on Friday through Sunday. You're at Detroit, or you're at home against Detroit, and then Monday through Thursday, you're going at Chicago. So you wanted to get Tristan McKenzie on that little rhythm there of pitching every 5th or 6th day. So I thought it was smart to bring him out, and he looked good. His control was a little off, but, first outing of the year. He normally doesn't come in a bullpen role, so we'll see. I'm excited for his next start. I think he's going to do really well. Him and Logan Allen actually really impressed me. Logan Allen, same thing. His control, not all the way there, but his stuff is nasty. I mean, that ball moves so much. So once he gets that control, man, I think he can be dominant. If I had to guess, if I had a bet, I'm not going to say if I was a betting man, because I am a betting man, but I'm not this much of a betting man. If I had to, I think Logan Allen probably in a year or 2 moves to the bullpen and becomes one of the more dominant bullpen arms in the league. I think that control, if he can work on it, he can be a really good starter. But if he has trouble with control over the next year and a half, move him into the bullpen, get him 20 pitches, just go max out all effort. I don't think anybody's touching that guy. So that's my prediction for Logan Allen. But this pitching staff, man, and we knew it. You knew it when we got here. We knew it 2 years ago. We knew it 3 years ago. We knew it 4 years ago. The pitching is never going to be the problem. Bieber, Plesac, Savali, Logan Allen, Tristan McKenzie, and then you'll have Quantrell coming out of the bullpen. That's nasty. That's stupid. That's stupid and nasty. And this team rarely is going to give up more than 4 runs a game. 3 runs a game, maybe. They're going to be good. The question, of course, can the offense hit? And through the first 4 games, the answer is sometimes. 2 runs in the first 2 games, and then they burst out for 9. If we can just cut it in the middle and go at 5, I would appreciate that. So that's where I am. I think they could be 4-0 if the batters, woke up at all. Cesar Hernandez, stop bitching. Just get in the leadoff spot and call it a day. Tito, put him in the lineup spot, and call it a day. Yeah, if you don't have access to the Indians game, that sucks, and I'm sorry, because you should be able to watch your favorite team or your second favorite team. I don't care. Just you should be able to watch whatever team you want to watch without being blacked out or just screwed from the TV people because they need more than their $1 billion a year. Opening day should never start in Cleveland. I think Cleveland should get their opening day around April 10th. I feel like that's a safe bet. And Yu Chang, he needs to get better at first base. So that's where I'm at right now through 4 games of this long season. I told you I'm not going to be Mr. Overreaction guy. Some people may say that's boring. I say it's smart, so you can't clip this up and call me a lunatic when whoever I decide to bitch and moan about that day decides to go on a tear and win MLB Player of the Month in August, and you're like, hey, Zach, remember when you were a jackass and you said this guy wasn't going to do well? Well, ha, joke's on you. I don't want that happening, and I also just am not overreaction guy. So I won't overreact. Well, I'll try to, not this season. With this lineup, there may be overreactions, but I'm going to try not to. What we got coming up, like I said, the Indians got one more tomorrow, 1 o'clock start against the Royals. That makes me happy so I can watch it. Thursday, they're off again. I don't know what the hell this off day is. Today, Tuesday, the 6th. Why do you get an off day? You just had an off day the other day. Doesn't make sense to me. You're going to play a game against Kansas City, and then you're going to have an off day, and then you're going to have another game against Kansas City, and then you're going to have another off day. Doesn't make sense. Friday through Sunday, we know what the Tigers are. If the Indians can hit, then they'll win those games. If they can't hit, they'll lose 3-0, like they seem to be destined to do a lot of the time. Oh, by the way, one thing. Everybody was killing the Indians on Thursday opening day for being dominated by Matt Boyd because he gave up more homers than anyone in baseball last year, and he had like a 6 ERA or something. I'm telling you what, don't be surprised when Matt Boyd is in the conversation for comeback player of the year, because that dude's stuff plays. And when he's on, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm telling you, the Tigers are going to have one of the best rotations in baseball in the next couple of years because they got Tarek Skubal, who just pitched against them on Sunday, and he got hit around a little bit, but he's a great prospect. And Casey Mize, their number 1 pitching prospect. That dude's nasty. Matt Boyd, he can go down to their 3-4 spot and be a pitcher for him for 10 years. So don't be surprised when Matt Boyd has a good breakout year this year, and opening day was just the start of that. So yeah, they got Detroit Friday through Sunday, and then a fun one. Yeah, a fun one against an actual division contender, the White Sox. It's a 4-gamer, Monday through Thursday. White Sox, what have they done? They've played against the Angels so far. And let's see real quick if my computer wants to work with me, if I can get to those schedules before I bore you and you turn it off. White Sox, they are 2-3. Okay, so they beat Seattle yesterday, 6-0. They got walked off against the Angels on Sunday. Saturday, they lost 5-3. Friday, they exploded for 12 runs. They gave up 8, but they scored 12. And then opening day, they lost 4-3 to the Angels. So it looks like they're having a little bit of trouble scoring runs, not as much, but they're going to match up against the Indians on Monday. That's one. What do they got? They got 4 games until then. That might line up for Bieber, Plesac, Savali against the White Sox, and then Logan Allen or Tristan, depending on what you want to do. Chicago could have more trouble hitting the ball. So we got a fun week of baseball coming up. I will be back with you on Wednesday, Tuesday. I record these on Tuesday. They might get up by Tuesday night, but they'll definitely be up by Wednesday morning. So I will be back with you Tuesday in the middle of that Chicago series, breaking down what happened throughout the weekend, the Kansas City game tomorrow, and of course the Monday game against the White Sox. So I appreciate you tuning in to episode number 2 of Chasing 48. I really, really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, like it, subscribe to it, leave a review or feedback, whatever you want to call it. I would super appreciate that. If you like what you hear, Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Even if you don't like your enemies might like me. So if you could help me out getting the word out, I really, really do appreciate it. And as I said, I will see you next Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever the hell you decide to tune into this podcast. So until next time, I'm Zach Harley. As always, be a good person. Be a great person. Do something nice for someone. I'll see you next week.